Hello and welcome to the golden episode of Character Unlock. That's episode 50 for people who don't really care about stuff like that. It's a half special show, half we kind of just threw something together in the last minute because that's the kind of guys we are.
Literally last minute. I'm still putting my notes together now.
That's just how we are. And with me, as per usual, is Mr. Brooker. Brooks, how are we?
Mate, I've got the worst festival flu I've had in quite a while.
Well, you were spending a lot of time with stinky, sweaty people who probably didn't stay in hotels nearby.
To be fair, for the most part, everybody was pretty clean. People get yelled at Fright Fest for not being clean. There was a amazing moment where one person complained to one of the organisers that the guy sitting next to him needed a little help with their personal hygiene. So the dude walked in, once everybody had sat down, so we're just about to announce the next film, he walked in, pointed at the guy and went, You stink. That's the reason there's no one sitting near you, no one wants to be near you, go and have a shower, and then left. So, fucking hell. This was Friday. This was only a day and a half into the festival and someone's complaining about the smell. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. But, no, for the most part, it was all right. Like, the guy sat next to me on the last day needed to fucking shower. He reeked.
You should have peed on him or something.
Well, I wasn't staying for the last film, so I had other things I wanted to do, and the last film didn't interest me at all. So I was like, well, there's only 4 films. I'll just deal with it. By the end of film 3, I'm like, I'm going to have to like breathe through my mouth, which this isn't good. This dude stinks. But of course, we're all, by Monday, everybody's had one too many drinks. We're all a little bit worse for wear, and the coughing starts. It says it did like midday Saturday, one person coughs, and then it just spreads. Like that scene from Outbreak would just spit everywhere. So yeah, everybody's fucking complaining about festival flu. Mate, I'm so ill.
Well, it's a good thing you got some time off work because otherwise, you'd be spreading it to the office.
I'm hoping I'm not contagious now. I just sound like an old smoker because I'm back at work tomorrow morning. I'll be fine.
Probably drinking too much coffee. That's probably not helping.
Well, maybe not. But I also need to stay awake.
Nah. Just start snoring. It's about the same.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, apart from that, mate, I'm good. Thank you. How about yourself? You all right?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Definitely probably should have played a lot more video games than I have, but I've just been watching cartoons because I can't be asked to play games.
Yeah, I took my Switch down to London with me. I was like, right, we're gonna, I've got a few hours to kill. Like I said to you the other week, it's the first Fright Fest I'm going to where I'm not writing, so I'm actually gonna have free time. No, not really. I didn't really. I took Bayonetta 2 down with me, and I'm about a third of the way through Bayonetta 2, and that's it. I found myself a good horror book that I wanted to read, and basically any of my spare time I was reading.
Yeah.
Now I'm sitting there going, I need to play some games. But I don't want to play any games because next week Spider-Man comes out.
Yeah. There's Spider-Man next week. There's the Destiny 2 patch coming out soon. It's just the wrong time of the year to be doing anything new. Because you're just kind of anticipating that next title to come out, and you don't want to play something new in case you don't finish it in time for the next game, and you want to play the next game more than you want to play this game. And it's a vicious cycle.
It really is. I did today bite the bullet, and I digitally pre-ordered, so have now paid for Red Dead 2.
Nice.
I bought the £75 version.
You mug.
Well, there's no multiplayer add-ons with that, so it's just the digital special edition or something.
Yeah.
So you get the full game and you get a shitload of extra stuff for the single-player campaign, which is what I want. I will only be playing the single-player campaign. So all I've got to do now is hope I can finish Spider-Man between Spider-Man coming out and Red Dead coming out.
Yeah. That's probably a difficult feat, unless Spider-Man ends up being really short. Which is always a possibility.
I think they, I think there was like a rumor going around that someone finished it in like 12 hours, but I think Insomniac have come out and said 20 to 30 hours for a standard playthrough. I,
Mm.
I'm not sure how a standard playthrough can bounce, have a 10-hour difference in it somehow, but we'll see.
Well, let's go with that dude who said that he finished it in 12. We'll talk on the grounds that they probably did nothing but main story.
Almost certainly. Almost certainly. And it's going to be one of those games where you can't help but get into side missions, and you
Yeah.
do a few. Uh, I think for me it'll probably be very Assassin's Creedy, where I'll get about halfway through, having done all the side missions, and go, I'm just fed up with this. Let's get the story finished.
And then you
So
realize you're hilariously over-leveled because you've done all the side missions.
yeah, so
It's
probably 30 hours for me, which I'm
yeah.
fine with.
Yeah, I mean, what, my first playthrough of Second Son took me the best part about 4 days, and then I did the second playthrough in like 8 hours
Yep.
because that's all it needed to finish the story, even on the hardest difficulty where it was quite difficult to get around
Yeah.
without getting the power-ups and everything. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So we'll see. Well, it might 20 to 30 hours works for me, I suppose.
Yeah, can handle that. So, guess we'll move on to some news because there is news.
Stuff to talk about. Way.
Yay! Games are getting release dates and stuff and things and other stuff's happening and other games aren't getting release dates. So we'll start with the obvious one, which is that next August, Shenmue 3 is coming.
No, it's not.
No. Well, it's got a pretty confirmed release. It's got a day and everything. Normally they would say just August if they were going, yeah, it's coming out next year.
I, I don't see it. I
No?
honestly, I can't see it happening.
August 27th. That's right at the end of the summer window.
Yeah, so that's the end of the summer drought, if there is a summer drought next year. That late in August, if it happens that late in August, it will actually be the beginning of silly season, wouldn't it? Shenmue 3 coming out will be the beginning of silly season.
Yeah, that'll be the game that everyone buys because there's a drought and they're thinking, oh, I need to play a game. What's next? Oh, it's Shenmue. I'll buy that. I'll play it. And then it's, what, a week, 2 weeks before the hard shit comes?
Yep. But yeah, I honestly, I don't know, mate. I don't see it happening. We've heard almost nothing about this fucking game for like 2 years. It ain't coming out end of August next year. I might be wrong, I said the same thing about Spider-Man coming out next week, and now it's actually coming out next week. But yeah, I don't see it. Will you be picking up Shenmue, do you reckon?
I might consider it, probably, but it's more of a rental for me rather than a purchase.
Fair enough. Have you played 1 and 2?
No, I've not.
Are you considering picking up the 1 and 2 quote unquote remaster, which is not a remaster really, it's like the prototype for re-release?
No, I'm not picking up any kind of remasters for other games. I'm not a remasters fan.
Fair enough.
When it's just if I wanted to play the game remastered, then it's this. Stupid thing with remasters is that half of them aren't really remasters.
No.
They're just we'll re-release the game, like Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the remaster that they released.
Yeah.
Ended up graphically inferior than if they were to just make it backwards compatible and let the Xbox do the upgrade itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
I won't buy Shenmue 1 and 2. I've got absolutely no interest in playing that again. So, no.
Yeah. And then other release dates we've got are for Devil May Cry 5.
See, that one I'm slightly more interested in.
Yeah. I didn't play 4 or DMC, which is now not a thing anymore.
Did you not play DMC?
No, I didn't play DMC.
All right. DMC was fun.
I think it came out at an awkward time for me.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest game.
No.
But it was one of those games, if you can't, it's not like the original Devil May Cry games, which were bastard hard. if you couldn't get the hang of like combo fighting, it was tough to mash your way through a fight. New DMC, you could mash your way through, drop it down to easy, mash your way through the game, no problem, and still enjoy it. I really quite liked DMC, actually. It was not
Yeah.
the worst game. Devil May Cry 5, yeah, kind of interested. I did play 4 and kind of liked 4. I think we said this during our E3 podcast. I would have preferred DMC 2
Yep.
as opposed to Devil May Cry 5. It seems to just shit all over what Ninja Theory did with DMC, which is a shame because it was a good game.
But it's coming out on March the 8th, which is a week before The Division 2, and 2 weeks after Metro Exodus, and Days Gone, and Anthem.
Yeah, that
And
February
potentially after 2 weeks after Crackdown 3. Potentially if Crackdown 3 actually happens.
Yeah. I think Crackdown 3 will happen. I just think it won't hit with the fanfare that Microsoft are hoping it will, because no one gives a shit anymore.
No.
As much as I love him, Terry Crews cannot sell me that game anymore.
No. But that's 4 games coming out 2 weeks before the release of Devil May Cry 5, and that's also coming out a week before another massive game. I don't think there's enough time to play those 3 games and it be ready for the Division 2 coming out.
No.
I'm going to have to make a choice. And I'm sorry, but I think it's probably going to be Anthem that will go to the side. Days Gone and Metro mean more to me.
Yeah, see, Days Gone for me is a day one purchase. There's that niggling feeling in the back of my mind that I'm going to regret it because I'm buying it basically because it looks like The Last of Us meets Sons of Anarchy, and that really appeals to me. But I don't know. I can't deny what Sony have done with their exclusives recently. So Days Gone is a day one purchase for me. Metro Exodus, I will play, and I really am looking forward to playing. I really need to play the Redux games again because it's been fucking ages, and I'd like to play through those 2 first.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Days Gone is The Last of Us meets Sons of Anarchy, but it's also The Last of Us where instead of being Joel and Ellie, you are being the bad guys.
Yeah, I think they also you get to be an action guy, so you actually get to have an action game as opposed to a sneaky stealthy game. But the world looks like they've just thrown the Sons of Anarchy guys into The Last of Us. You know, backwards cap and everything.
Just climb into a bush and then throw some meat into a crowd of people and let the zombies happen.
Exactly. Like you will with Dead Rising.
As long as I can have a glove gun, it's fine.
Yep. Yeah, so I've forgotten what we were talking about. Oh yeah, Devil May Cry 5. I think, yeah, that comes out. It's amazing how busy like February and March have become the last couple of years when it comes to games. So,
yeah, and then there's nothing. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like nothing in January, and it's really difficult for anyone who wants to pick up something new. February happens, and then you get a game every single week,
yeah,
and then you get 3 on one day, and then March happens, and again there's a new game every single week, and then you get nothing because everyone's anticipating E3 like 4 months later.
yeah,
And then you get again nothing, and you get the summer drought, and then you might get one game that comes out which ends up selling like a motherfucker in August because everyone wants to play that one game that's the only game that's out.
yeah.
September hits, and again you get a fuck ton of games.
Is it? We're back to where we are now, which is, you know, a week off of the beginning of silly season.
Yep. September, October, November is when you get fucking loads of games. Back in the day when those loads of games used to come out, and it was half of them were, oh, you buy this for your kids at Christmas.
Yeah,
And then you just, like Call of Duty, every year you always ended up with Christmas noobs.
yeah. That was it. Call of Duty and Battlefield, you know, for people like us, well, people like I bought Battlefield every year on release day. or every release, because it didn't used to be a yearly release game. But Christmas noobs were how you got your last couple of trophies when you were chasing certain platinums.
Like the let's get 35 kills without dying. Like,
Five knife kills in a row.
yeah,
5 knife kills in a row. Christmas Day on Battlefield 4. It was fucking amazing. Because back then, this was before we had Nikita. So what we used to do is like, Maya would go to her parents' Christmas Day. I'd go to my parents' Christmas Day. And then I'd go home. Maya would stay at her parents. And I'd go and get her Boxing Day and go back to my parents. So which meant Christmas night, I was at home on my own. And I wouldn't stay at my parents until 1 o'clock in the fucking morning because I hate Doctor Who. So the second they put the Doctor Who Christmas special on, I'm like, that's my cue to fuck off home. So I got like 6 hours worth of Battlefield time every Christmas Day. It was amazing. And it was literally the only medal I needed for my platinum was 5 knife kills in a row.
kills without dying. Yeah.
Yep. And it was amazing. Literally my first game, dude on the beach, trying to snipe his way through, clearly a noob, trying to snipe his way through a couple of games in the same spot every time. I just stabbed him and ran away, hid and he came back. I stabbed him and ran away. And he didn't get the point. He got my point, but he didn't get that. He didn't realise that it was the same dude getting him every time because he was being a dick. Christmas noobs, I fucking love them.
It's almost like the one of the times I went to EGX and it was Battlefield 4 on display on the Battlefield stand, and there was loads of people there who were clearly COD people because they were just lying down on the ground and trying to quickscope and saying this game's really boring, nothing's happening. I was like, they're on the Battlefield stand. It's a 64-player game.
Yeah, get up and move, dickheads.
Get up and move around. You will see people because it's a big fucking map.
Yeah.
You're not going to see anyone if you just lie on the floor.
No. You know what? I do kind of miss Battlefield 4. I know everybody got sick of them, but I really like the modern shooters like Battlefield 3 and 4 and Hardline and Bad Company.
Yeah.
I loved them. Battlefield 1, I couldn't get into the multiplayer for Battlefield 1.
No. Modern shooters are great. I've got no problem with modern shooters. The problem is future shooters. I don't think people care about what future shooters try to be. No one cares about exosuits bouncing around and all that.
No, this is true.
Maybe in the future when there is exosuits bouncing around and giant stompy robots that you like Jaegers or to go around and smash stuff where you have people inside controlling the suit.
Yeah.
That maybe in the future that will be cool. But that's in the future. People don't know what it's going to be like in the war in the future. You might still have infantry running around. That's what it was like in World War II.
Yeah.
And World War I had the same thing. It's not changed that much.
No.
Just the weaponry.
Yeah. I see when you talk about Battlefield, like Battlefield 5 will be I'll play the 10-hour trial and see how I feel. I'm undecided on Battlefield 5 at the moment.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of next year, we have a game not coming out. So it seems to be that the guys at Ubisoft are continuing with the 1 year on, 1 year off-ish deal with Assassin's Creed.
I know, it's more like continental shift, isn't it? It's like 2 on and 1 off.
Yeah. Because they took a little break before Origins.
Yeah.
And then it's two games in a row. Now they're having another break.
Yeah. So they've come out of it and said there's not going to be an Assassin's Creed in 2019. Which is amazing. Because Origins did gangbusters. And I'm guessing that at the moment, even pre-orders for Odyssey are doing well. Because a lot of people are looking forward to playing it.
Yeah.
For them to say, yeah, we're not releasing one next year, I think is a pretty big deal.
Maybe it's because they've got some other games coming out, and they kind of don't want to throw Assassin's Creed out along with that. But it was also kind of a weird thing in his statement when he said we're not going to have a full-fledged Assassin's Creed next year.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah, mobile game.
It could be an Assassin's Creed mobile game. It could be they're releasing more Chronicles. But again, it could just be as simple as Ubisoft want to release another IP, and they don't want to eat into the Assassin's Creed fans. Or they could
Maybe.
just when does Assassin's Creed comes out silly season, so they could just want a break.
Yep. Maybe we get a game. Maybe we get some. Maybe we get a Splinter Cell. You know.
We can only hope.
But anything like that, you shift a big game out, give it a year off, let
Yeah.
its fans get a breather before we all get fucking exhausted on it again, and Splinter Cell would work.
Well, the Division 2 is coming out the next year early, so we might end up with a Wildlands 2 or a different Ghost Recon game or
Yeah. So the Division 2, I think, will take up a lot of time for Ubisoft. I think that'll go on for a couple of years, a bit like the first one did.
yeah.
But I do think it will get a lot of traction over the first 6 months, which would eat into Assassin's Creed time.
Yeah. If they could release an update around about, Assassin's Creed time. That'd be about what, 6 months after launch.
Yep.
It's a good time. So you release an update on 3 months, on 6 months, and then on 12 months as an anniversary, and people will buy and go back to the game,
Yeah.
and they'll buy whatever the DLC patch. I can't remember what they said about future DLCs for. I think don't they? I think there is a season pass for it, isn't there?
For the Division,
Yeah.
isn't the DLC, isn't Year 1 DLC free?
Yeah, year one is as part of the first game.
So I'm not sure as to the season pass thing.
So yeah, maybe that's what I mean by the year one DLC is free, so that you get the first two major updates. So that will be the 3 month, 6 month, or the
Yeah.
the 4 month, 8 month bundle. Nah, 3 and 6 makes more sense, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Because then you've got people wanting to play it up until the release of the next game,
Yeah.
or the next year's worth of content, or whatever you want to call it. Our final bit of news is how to save yourself essentially $130, basically, when you want to buy a new Xbox. Because
Excuse me.
Microsoft have a financing package for the Xbox One X and S.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
I
so
I
it's
love this.
yeah, it's a really weird thing, but at the same time, it's a great thing. It depends on your standpoint. A lot of people don't really believe in finance. A lot of companies already do finance for Xbox Ones at the moment, especially in this country. There's so many catalogs that will say buy now, pay later, and all of
Oh,
that kind of crap.
oh God, you could go anywhere. You can go to Little Woods, or you can go. I mean, Game have financing, Shop2Net have financing.
Yep.
PC World have financing. You can get Comet if you're buying an Xbox. All these places you can get financing at an insane interest rate some of the time as well. And then
Yeah.
you get the poor bastards, who have crappy credit and can't get places there, and you end up in places like Bright House, which are the fucking Wonga.com of TV salesmen.
Yep.
Charge you 140% interest on a fucking Xbox One. Now, when you get to that point, my feelings are this is not an essential purchase.
No.
You shouldn't be bankrupting yourself and ruining your credit for a console. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. If you're going to pay 120% interest or whatever the fuck, then you really shouldn't be buying it. But the thing is, Microsoft know that people are going to spend money anyway, so why not
Yep.
just get the money themselves?
Exactly.
And the deal for Microsoft actually is only available in the States. You get an Xbox One X and 2 years worth of gold and 2 years worth of Game Pass.
Yep.
It's like $35 a month.
Yes.
By the time you get to the end of it, it works out about $120 cheaper than if you actually went out and bought it all day one. If you went out and bought 24 months of gold and 24 months of Game Pass and an Xbox One X, sorry, it would cost you more than doing this. So you basically get a year's worth of Game Pass for free, and you get your console on 0% interest. You know, I'm okay with this. I think it's great, and Microsoft need to sell more fucking consoles.
Yeah, they do. Let's be honest.
You know, they've spent a fuckload of money buying developers for their next console. They need to test the waters with this because guaranteed the next console generation is going to be twice as expensive as what we've been paying for these ones. We will all be using a Microsoft All Access finance package, I think.
Yeah. So what you've got? It's a $600 console
Yep.
plus your $60 for a year for 2 years,
Yeah.
plus your 10-15 bucks for a month for
Yep.
2 years. That's like $860 or something.
Yeah.
And for $35 a month for 2 years of 840 or whatever
Yeah.
yeah, you're looking at a saving there.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely. And it works like a phone contract. After that 2 years, the Xbox is yours. You ain't got to give it back. All you got to do is now supply your own Live and Game Pass.
yeah, you're no longer spending the $35 a month. You're now spending slightly less a
Yeah.
month, in fact, because you'll get your $10 a month on your Game Pass. I think there's actually a new offer from Microsoft. I don't know if it's available in this country, but you can buy Gold and Game Pass in one bundle.
That's kind of cool.
I think one of the things they're trying to change is that if you buy Game Pass, you get Gold as part of it.
Yeah, see that I like that a lot. I Game Pass I think is a great idea. I hate that it's a separate payment,
Yeah,
just because I constantly forget what payments I have coming out. So actually, if I'm paying for Gold and Game Pass in one payment, absolutely, I'll take it.
if they were to move Gold under the Game Pass banner, so they make it so that if you pay for Game Pass, you get Gold,
Yeah,
then I would probably just pay for Game Pass.
it makes it worth it then, doesn't it?
Yeah, but as long as it's two separate payments, I will only have Gold because I don't get the every game with Gold. I don't get one every month sometimes.
Yeah,
At the same time, I don't play enough games that are on Game Pass. So, for instance, you keep telling me that Doom's on Game Pass.
yeah,
I don't currently have Game Pass running. I let mine expire,
yeah,
and I'm now waiting for something to go onto Game Pass that I might be willing to play, and I'll just roll a month on.
yeah. Well, the thing for Game Pass for me is actually like when I was having issues with the run quality of Darksiders, I took my disc out and uninstalled it, and then installed it from Game Pass because it's on Game Pass as well, just to see if the problem was running off the disc. It wasn't. But I was
No.
like, well, I might as well just leave it fucking installed, and I can leave another disc in the machine.
Well, there was your mistake because you clearly forgot what Microsoft said, which is that when you put the disc in, it only reads it for knowing what disc game's in the tray, and then it just plays from the hard drive. It's the same as your download.
Ah, fair enough. I did not. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
It's the exact same content from the disc to the download content. So it will literally just play off of the hard drive the same. So if the problem was on the disc,
Yeah.
when you download it across, it'll be the same as the download from the internet.
I had no idea. I was just trying to make the fucking frame rate a bit better on Darksiders 2 because it sucked balls.
Yeah, see, you can't do that because it's not possible to fix.
No.
It's shit,
Yeah.
which is a shame.
But yeah. Was glad to finally get it finished though.
Yeah. Braver man than I, Brooks.
I needed to, mate. I needed to see how the story ended. I needed to finish the game. Yeah. Done. Dusted. But now I need a break. I don't want to play Darksiders 3 yet.
And speaking of Xbox, they have announced, along with their finance package, a lovely, pristine, for 20 minutes, white Xbox One X Elite,
Goodie.
which comes with the Fallout 76, I think, isn't it?
Oh, nice. I didn't spot that, I have to admit. But that's kind of cool.
I
If
I
you're
think
into that kind of thing.
it's a white Xbox One X, a white Xbox One Elite controller, and a copy of Fallout 76, I think. I think that's what I read on the when I was looking through the bundles for it. But
Uh, hardware bundle featuring white Xbox One X and a copy of Bethesda's, yeah, Fallout 76.
now I'm holding my black Elite controller because it was the only one that was available, and I'm looking at it now, and it's not the black controller that I bought in the first place,
No,
even remotely close to, because I'm a filthy bastard, and there's a lot of my skin and crap all over it, and where the paint's sort of come away a little bit from where I've held the controller too tight.
yeah,
So the rubber padding is finally coming off the back, like it has been for everyone else who holds their controller too tight.
yeah,
There's like loads of people online complaining, saying, "Oh, the rubber padding comes off after like 6 weeks." It's like, stop shoving it up your ass, and it'll stop
yeah,
doing that. Got the tiniest um, lump of the rubber padding that's come away at the seam a little bit, which a
yeah,
little bit of Gorilla Glue will fix that right up, I
yeah.
think. I'll probably inject some Gorilla Glue into it, and it'll be fine.
I am curious because for a long while there was a rumor of a new improved Elite controller coming
Yeah.
out. So, is this just an Elite controller that's white, or is it actually an improved controller? Because if it's an improved controller, I would consider getting it and then maybe spraying it black. Because I don't want a white controller in my house. I've got a white PlayStation controller, and even when I don't use it, it gets fucking grubby because dust.
Yeah. I don't think it's an improved controller. I think that they were kind of looking at it with the hints towards a new Elite controller, and people were misreading it. I think we're just getting a new colored white controller. If they
Mm,
were to release different colors, if they were to release like a blue controller, or they were to add, because there's all those special edition controllers for the standard,
yeah,
all the special different paint schemes, like the military camo ones.
yeah.
Some of those digital camo controllers are really fucking nice.
Oh yeah,
And some of the other ones that they got, where there's that frost blue one that they released,
yep.
and then
That
there
was
was
nice.
the flame red one that they also had as well. That was nice. And I'm not a fan of red stuff.
No.
I would never go out of my way to buy something red if it was available in a different color. Red just doesn't sit well with me for some reason. I just don't like it.
Yeah, see, I really wanted the red Gears Elite controller. It's such a gorgeous bit of kit, but and
But it's not worth the £700 on
well, no,
eBay.
this is it. It was so expensive. Well, I said it wasn't so expensive. It was like 200 quid to buy or 130 quid to buy when it came out. But they went out of stock so quick, and now second-hand ones are on eBay for like £300. And I'm not fucking spending that. Up your ass.
That's probably where they put it before they put it on eBay.
Yeah, but yeah, you can go to like Scuff and buy a custom-made or custom shell Elite controller, and it cost you 150, 170 quid, depending on the design you want to put on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather do that. And to be fair, Scuff make pretty decent controllers. I just don't like spending £180 on a controller.
You can buy custom controllers in your game store now because they signed a deal with the custom controller company. I can't remember which one it was.
I
Uh,
do not know.
yeah, but they have a stand right at the fucking entrance, just like a glass box full of Xbox controllers. They've got weird designs.
I
But
didn't even realise.
there's also the design lab, which although they don't do Elite controllers, you can design your own fucking controller and personalize it with the little name tag on it. You can make it interesting colors. You can
Yeah,
change the X, Y, A, B button so that they are black, and then you can put little dots on the faceplate so you know what color they're supposed to be. I love my Elite controller. I don't think I trade it in for anything except another Elite controller.
yeah. Well, that was it. When I traded in my Xbox One Elite so I could get my X, first thing I did was buy another Elite controller first, so I still had one.
Yep.
Because I love it. I love it. I love the weight. Picking up a normal Xbox controller feels really light. Feels like I'm going to accidentally throw it across the room.
Well, I've got my controllers next to me. So my Elite controller is the heaviest by
Yeah.
some margin, but the PlayStation controller is not actually that heavy.
No, it's
Well,
not.
not it's not that light rather either. It's kind of a midweight. But then you pick up your Switch controller and it's like I almost smacked myself in the face with it just now.
Excellent.
So yeah, you're right. The weight does make a big difference because those triggers are fucking heavy.
Yeah. But it also helps when you've got like big hands like me. I feel like I'm going to crush a normal Xbox controller and a PlayStation controller.
Yeah. Wasn't there another controller with special triggers? And by special triggers, what it actually has is it just has um, rubber padding
I
on the triggers.
I do not know.
Fuck, I remember them mentioning it, and then loads of people sort of started whining about the fact that it had that, but it didn't have hair triggers, because the hair triggers is what everyone wants.
Yeah.
Although I find that more games don't work with the hair triggers than do.
Well, yeah, they're only good if you use shooters. If you play shooters exclusively, then they're good.
You say that there's a fair amount of shooters that don't like the hair triggers,
Oh,
like Battlefield 1. If you put the hair triggers on, you can't use mounted guns.
really?
Yeah, it doesn't just you can't reload mounted guns easily. You pull the trigger, it'll fire the cannon, and then you pull the trigger again, and instead of reloading it, he'll just stand there.
All right.
So you have to press the reload button.
Fair enough. Yeah, maybe I shan't bother.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time I used my hair triggers. I still use the back paddles,
Yeah.
just because pressing the front face panels is buttons is way too difficult when you've got.
Well, that's it. The paddles on it for me I use for things like Battlefield, so I don't have to take my fingers off. I don't take my thumbs off the sticks.
Yeah. So you've got A, B, X, and Y in the right positions, or if you play racing games, they make for great gear changes.
Yeah, it's true. None of which are any good on a white fucking controller, which is going to be manky brown by the time you finish your first race.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you race your first race, you'll be getting all sweaty because you're getting a bit nervous. Or you play your first game of Call of Duty, again you're sweating like crazy because you're playing Call of Duty. Plus the sticky fingers from the Doritos.
Yeah.
That controller is not going to be a nice color after 20 minutes.
No. No. I shan't be bothering, I don't think.
No. Maybe if they were to start releasing Elite controllers in different colors, I might get a blue one. I might consider buying a green one.
Yeah, I have a blue one. Blue one could be cool.
Or if they were to just add the Elite controller to the design lab, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, if I could do that, Patriots colours straight away.
Oh yeah, straight up the design lab purple plus changing the triggers and the metal parts to gold, and then having the white face buttons and thumbsticks. Full on Viking.
Yep.
So as a little special thing that we're going to do with our amazing 50th episode that we totally planned for because we knew this was coming a long time ago and we just kind of expected that this was going to happen and we knew what we were going to do right from the start.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm selling it well enough?
Not at all. No one believes a word you're fucking saying.
We're doing ourselves a classic like we did in the first 8 episodes with triple bills.
Yeah, man. Going back old school.
And we're bringing out a triple bill of stuff that we've played for the last 50 episodes. Some of those games were mentioned in multiple episodes.
Yeah.
But we're going with a game that we still love, a game that we don't like, and we've never really liked, but we just thought we should just reiterate that. And a game that we gave you a positive look on originally, but now that we think back on it, or as we've continued to play it, and we've got a bit to the end of it, and we kind of go, you know what? We're sorry, we shouldn't have recommended this game to you.
Yeah. Exactly that.
So, Brooks, let's go with what game did you love? Or still love?
I will go back to our third or fourth episode for this one.
All right.
Resident Evil 7.
Ugh.
Pretty much knew you were going to have that kind of reaction. The thing with Resident Evil 7 is I've played it, I think I've played it through 3 times since the first time I played it, and it is still brilliant. It's still typical Resident Evil, which means the horror kind of dies down a little bit after the halfway mark, apart from one jump scare that still got me every time. But it's atmospheric. It's a genuinely scary game, and it gets scarier if you do it with a VR headset on. It's well made. It's well written. Everything that Resident Evil 6 was not, including fun. It is very, very fun. I don't know, mate. The thing for me is, yeah, I love horror as a genre, and I like horror games. I tend to not gravitate towards horror games that much because I don't. It's weird to explain, but I think I said it previously as well. Like with horror games, you don't get to turn off and walk away, or you don't get to look away at scary, but you have to sit and stare to progress the game, which sometimes makes you a bit uncomfortable, and that's not necessarily what you want when you're playing a game for 8 hours, and Resi is only 8 hours long. So I tend to play horror games, get about halfway through, get bored or get annoyed, and turn them off. So Resi 7 is the first horror game in ages that I actually purposefully finished and then went back and played again very quickly. I actually bought new equipment so I could play it better. Which, you know, it is a game for me worth spending the 300 quid I spent on my VR headset to play. It's a great horror game. It's a great thrilling action game. Really, really good. And I would gladly, if I wasn't, 8 months into a challenge where I finish games I haven't played before, I would gladly put it in again and play it again tonight. I think it's fucking amazing.
Yeah. I can't believe you bought your fucking PlayStation. I can't believe you don't own that anymore after the amount of money you spent on it.
Well, nothing fucking came out for it.
And nothing's ever going to come out for it.
This is the really annoying thing. I bought this fucking bit of kit and I played all the games that came out on VR. And so far, I've only missed one. The Inpatient has come out since I got rid of it that I really wanted to play. And that's it. Nothing else has come out, so I'm not actually missing anything.
No.
Which is a real shame because the VR is an amazing bit of kit. And I do want to play some of my games I own that are only in VR again. But I don't know. It's an amazing bit of kit that Sony just didn't support it as well as they should have done.
Yeah, they just kind of go, yeah, we'll release this, make a fortune, and then let's give it up on it.
Yeah,
There's
pretty much.
The Vita, the PlayStation, the PSP,
Yeah.
the mobile phone of the same ilk.
Yeah.
And now the PSVR.
Yep. So, but yeah, Resi 7 is an amazing game. Whether or not you play it in VR, it's an amazing game. Maybe not if you don't like scary stuff.
No scary stuff.
So what's your favourite then, mate?
So I'm going back, again, very, very early into our infancy of character unlock. And I'm going with Titanfall 2.
Yes.
Now, this one actually was the game of the year for, I think it was our first year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the only game that we both agreed was amazing from 2016.
Yeah.
So, again, this game was phenomenal on launch. The story was brilliant, loved every second of it, and I kind of want to go back and play the story again because it got the 4K patch along with the X.
Yep.
So it's got even more detail, and the midlife patch to it, the one that brought in the Frontier Defense. And we played Frontier Defense.
Yes, we did.
And we ended up in fits of stitches over the two guys,
Yeah.
the two commentators, while we work on it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I did play Titanfall 2 again not that long ago because I played it with Lee and I played a little bit with Josh not that long ago. And occasionally, if I'm in a bit of a gaming funk, like right now, I know that I could just put Titanfall 2 on and I'll just spend a good couple of hours playing it because it's a game that I can just keep playing.
Yep.
It's just an easy way to eat up time. Just throw on Titanfall, just play some Frontier Defense. And I took a look at their stats, and they're still getting over 1 million people a month on it.
Wow. That's impressive.
So this game's quite old. And we've not heard much from Respawn apart from them saying that their next game probably won't be a Titanfall.
Yeah, didn't Vince turn up at E3 make a really shit stuff? Are they making a Star Wars game?
Yes, I think they are. The Jedi Fallen Order thing.
Yeah.
which was it's kind of half being teased for next year,
Yeah, that ain't
which
happening either. We've
no,
not seen a trailer or a gameplay or even an announcement outside of Vince Zampella turning up and saying we're making Star Wars.
yeah,
Yeah, that won't happen next year.
no. But Respawn are pretty good with their turnaround, so we could end up with a launch maybe early in the window next year. No, not next year, year after, 2020.
Yeah.
They need to get something out before Microsoft and Sony go, by the way, we've got new consoles coming in 2020.
Well, I mean, let's be honest about this. If there's new consoles coming, companies like EA and Respawn know about it.
Yeah,
They'll all have dev kit for it because you can't release consoles, you know, that only have first party games on. Mainly because Microsoft don't have any first party games.
no, they've got Crackdown.
Oh yeah,
That that
I'm
the great
sure.
launch title of Crackdown.
Yeah, it turns out Crackdown 3 actually turns out to be an Xbox One 2 launch title instead of the Xbox One launch title. We all got confused clearly.
Yep.
But yeah, these things like that, they will all these companies will know about it.
Yeah.
You got, even if you don't give them to Respawn, things like FIFA and Madden, games like that, they all make a fortune for all of these companies, especially EA, but all of these companies get money out of it. So, FIFA needs to be able to run on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One XXX, whatever
Yeah.
they want to call it.
The porn edition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, it will be on the new consoles, guaranteed.
Yeah. Although we've not hit the top limit of the current gen of consoles, well, apart from the PlayStation, because it's not quite powerful enough.
Yeah, I think depends on if The Last of Us 2 actually becomes a PS4 title or a PS5 title. Will be the factor that shows us all actually if the PS4 can handle anything. But Days Gone should show us whether or not it can handle it. That's going to be a brutal game for it. All those high-speed zombies, World War Z style zombies, is going to make
Yeah.
that thing work.
Yeah, that thing's gonna get hot.
Yes.
So we'll move on to, again, next one, Brooks. What game do you hate the most of all the ones that we've played on Character Unlock?
Well, there have been a few.
There has been a lot of games
There
that
have
we've
been a
not
few,
played.
and there is a lot of low-hanging fruit when you go through our list of games we've talked about. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say not only is this the worst game I've played, or one of the worst games I've played, it's also the one that disappointed me the most because I had such high expectations for it. It could have been so good, and it's set in a world I love so much. Can you guess what it is?
Is it Agents of Mayhem?
It is Agents of Mayhem. I was so disappointed at Agents of Mayhem. It was so boring. It should not be possible for a game where you walk around a futuristic world as one of 9 or as 3 of 9 different characters with insane abilities, be able to fuck up everything that you see. I should not be bored.
No.
But the
No,
fact
you shouldn't.
no, I shouldn't. But the fact is, you walked into this game and the first 2 hours are fun. But the problem is, you then play that first 2 hours over and over and over again. And you see this the most when you start unlocking or taking over like underground bunkers where like you walk in and go, oh, this all looks the same. But the thing is, not only does it all actually look the same, it is the same. They have 4 big rooms that they put in different orders, but they're still the same rooms. So you walk in, you know what you got to do in every one. It just becomes cookie cutter. It becomes a generic, just clear out the base. Just walk in, do this, clear out the base. And after time, even with the difficulty ramped up, you wouldn't need to know what you were doing because you could run through it. So you didn't need to go around killing everybody because you knew what you were doing. You could literally run through an entire area, hit switches and lamps and doors and things. And the only time you'd have any issue is when you walked into the area where you had to clear out all the bad guys before you left. It was, mate, it was so boring. You know, and the biggest problem it had, I definitely said this when we talked about it, was that it's not a Saints Row game, but it's set in the world that Saints Row lives in. But not only is it set in the world that Saints Row lives in, but not being a Saints Row game, it also has Johnny Gat in it.
Yep. Make your mind up.
It can't be all of these things. You can't sell me this fucking game, which is the fucking logo is the fleur-de-lis from Saints Row. It's definitely a Saints Row game. There's a purple fleur-de-lis in it. But then tell me it's not a Saints Row game. But then tell me it's set in the Saints Row world. But it's definitely not a Saints Row game. But if you pre-order, you can play as Johnny Gat. Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you.
Yep.
I got so angry. And I still do get angry thinking about that game. I feel ripped off sounds harsh. I feel like I was duped into buying this game. And I did hand over a fair amount of money for that game because I bought a lovely Steelbook edition with some pre-order stuff. Because, you know, pre-order and get to play as Johnny Gat. Fuck yeah, motherfucker. No. Just no. Absolutely unacceptable. Shouldn't have been sold. Shouldn't have been made. Give me Saints Row 5 or fuck off.
Yep.
Yeah. How's that?
That's good. I can feel the hatred. I can feel it oozing through my monitor.
Come on then, mate. What's your worst game that we've played over the last 50 episodes?
See, you were right when you said there's a lot of low-hanging fruit. I could quite easily have gone with Past Cure, a game that just made me upset by how shit it was. But I'm gonna go with.
I've got to ask, how glad are you that you gave up on the idea of only playing brand new games this year?
I'm really glad because I think if
you'd have been stuck playing more games like Past Cures than you would have been playing decent games.
Seriously, if I played another game that was even remotely close to the how good Past Cure was, I think I'd have shot myself with a copy of Past Cure.
Yeah.
I'd have made it work.
Just cut your own throat with the disc.
Yep. Now, I'm going to go with a game that was a sequel to a game that was not good. Well, it was not great. It wasn't universally loved, despite what it was, what it should have been. And the sequel promised to be better, but ended up not being better. In some cases was worse, and that is Battlefront 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I played Battlefront 2 on launch. I played Battlefront 2 at EGX,
yes,
actually, and it was different to the first one, to say the least. The fact that you had to earn the rights to play as different characters, otherwise you were just basic infantry.
Yeah.
That kind of irked on me a little bit, especially when a lot of the better classes, as they're supposed to be, when you earn them, didn't feel better or different to the ones that you were the generic guys.
Yeah.
And in a lot of circumstances, you pick generic guy because they will actually kill half of the other people until you got to the legends of the area, which just didn't work at all.
I loved it when we played at EGX, and I was like, "Oh, I can be a dude in a fighter," and the first thing I did was crash it into a wall.
Yeah.
Well, that
the
was
only
a good way of spending my points.
The only good thing that came out of Battlefront was Dunny laughing at setting someone on fire.
Was that Battlefront? No, that was Call of Duty.
Are you sure it was cool? Then I'm even more disappointed by Battlefront. I thought that was Battlefront that he was doing it.
No, because it was infectious. He laughed his ass off that he'd set someone on fire. It happened to be me that he'd set on fire. So it's just a pair of us just laughing our asses off just at fire. You know, no more game was played just laughing at fire.
Yeah.
like the worst pyromaniacs ever to live.
Yeah, you set something on fire and just start laughing instead of running away and getting away with it,
Yeah,
doing it again. But Battlefront 2 promised what? It promised the world and didn't even deliver the moon.
no,
So and the worst part is, from all of that, they took upon all of the advice, snagging reports, little grievances that everyone had, said that they were going to be working on the game to make it better, and then released patches to make it worse. And the debacle that was the microtransactions,
yeah,
where they made it so that you no longer needed to spend money to earn points to do stuff and make it easier to earn, and they brought down the virtual currency to buy stuff, but then at the same time made it so that it was slightly more difficult to earn the virtual currency. So
I love EA.
I think they slashed the prices of everything in the virtual currency to 10%, and then they changed it so that instead of 100 virtual currencies, you get like four for the end of a match.
Yep. Yeah, EA, man, what the fuck, guys?
It just went full on arsehole brigade for Battlefront 2. They just stick the Star Wars license on something and it will sell, apparently, is all it took. And it sold. People got very angry with it, but they didn't care. They'd made their money.
Yeah,
People could do whatever they want. They could trade the game back in. They still made their money.
yeah,
They were one step away from releasing the online pass for this game, I think.
yeah,
If you buy it secondhand, you have to pay $10 to play it online.
yeah. See, I think they would probably have wanted to do that if it hadn't been for the fact that they are already the worst video game company known to man. You know, the people would have just started setting their offices on fire if they had tried to bring back the online pass.
Yep.
And
And
I
no,
think
EA
whatever
aren't the worst
company,
company. It's Quantic Dream,
or Warner Brothers.
apparently.
I don't like Warner Brothers, which is a shame because they publish all the NetherRealm stuff, and I really like NetherRealm games. But yeah, Warner Brothers are kind of douchebags. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was interesting. I didn't see that one coming. I have to admit.
No?
Uh, no, but then again, you know, we haven't kind of. It's one of those games that we haven't revisited. We haven't spoken about it, you know,
No.
since it came out. Basically because, well, it just died a death, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't good when it came out, and I don't think I'd ever spoken it again since it came out on the grounds that I think I've only played it maybe 5 times
Yeah.
total, and every time I just didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, see, I played it at EGX, and I played the beta. I played two betas. I played one that was like space combat and one that was ground combat. Uh, I didn't really get on with any of them. They were all right, but they're just not my thing. So I didn't bother. And it's Star Wars. I'm not invested in the story or the history or any of that. I'm not invested in it at all. So to skip out on it was not a big deal to me.
Yeah. So, what's your apology game? Wait, it's a
Uh,
game you loved, but now you're not really sure if you think it's going to be a great game anymore, and you kind of regret telling people to play it.
See, this was a tough one for me. So what I actually did was I went to a game that I kind of liked, but very quickly went off of, and I said that on the podcast. I vanished. I went, just no, I'm not playing it. I'm not. And then about a year later, I gave it another go, started from scratch, and really kind of liked it. And then I really liked it for about 20 hours. And then I lost my fucking temper with it because it's just the same shit over and over and over again. And I still haven't fucking finished it. Because I literally, I refuse to finish it. In a year where I'm finishing everything, I'm not finishing this game because it's so fucking shit. Can you guess what I'm on about?
Skyrim?
Nope. I've never played Skyrim in my fucking life. I will never play Skyrim. I don't care how many machines Bethesda put it onto. They could put it onto my Apple Watch. I will still not play Skyrim.
Think about it this way: every possible way of playing Skyrim, you own it,
I know. I know.
or have owned it as well.
Yep. Oh yeah. I have played Skyrim. I played it in VR at EGX last year.
Oh yeah, when you were forced to because you climbed in the queue and they were like, "So, you're going to play the next game that becomes available, even if it is Skyrim."
And it was Skyrim. And I wanted to
Yep.
play The Impatient or Bravo Team or anything that wasn't Skyrim. But yeah.
I played Super Hot. It was awesome.
Superhot is perfect for VR. And actually, I kind of wish I still had my VR to play that. So yes, I have played Skyrim once for 10 minutes. I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
No. Ghost Recon Wildlands. Is my
Really?
game.
I honestly thought you finished Ghost Recon.
Nope. So the first time
Okay.
I played it for about 3 hours and I fucked up completely. And I worked out how I'd fucked up when I started playing it again. But I didn't realise that the zones in the game, to be honest, I didn't realise there were zones. This was how early on I quit. I ended up driving into a mission that was like in a level 5 5 out of 5 star difficulty and couldn't fucking do it and just got frustrated and angry and fuck this game, and I sold it. But then I was kind of going through this thing where I was being very forgiving of Ubi games and going back to them like 8 to 10 months later
When they fixed them.
when they fixed them and started them again. You know, I did it with Watch Dogs and enjoyed it more. I did it with Watch Dogs 2 recently and really liked Watch Dogs 2 second time around, even though there was nothing wrong with Watch Dogs 2 when I first played it. It was just a rental that I wanted to play elsewhere. I wanted to play something else, sorry. So I thought, you know what? Ghost Recon's on sale. It's like, I think I spent 18 quid on it and got the full version with the season pass and all of that. Installed it, started playing, really kind of enjoyed it. Had that open world Splinter Cell Ghost Recon feel about it, where you could ninja your way through a whole game. It felt great. It felt really good to go into an area, because this was fresh off of playing Far Cry 5 as well. So Far Cry 5, because I quite like sneaking around and being a stealthy ninja when I play these games. You know, this is not new information. But you could do it in Far Cry. You go in with a silenced pistol, a silenced sniper rifle, a bow and arrow, and a silenced assault rifle. You should be able to walk around and wipe out entire areas without anybody ever seeing you. But it's next to impossible, because the first time you stealthily kill somebody, you're suddenly in the middle of a fucking gunfight because someone through 3 buildings saw you do it, and now the alarms have been raised. So actually it felt quite refreshing to get into Ghost Recon, a game that is designed to be stealthy if you want to, and you could go through, you had your little drone and you could mark targets. You had mark and execute, so you could, 4 of you could take out people at the same time. It was great. Really fun for about 15 hours. And I did play for about 15 hours and really liked it. I was clearing out all the areas. I was doing all the side missions in an area. I was doing all the collectibles in an area, which is what was taking me so fucking long. And I got to an area and I kind of sat down. I was like, I'm not enjoying this at all. Like I said, go to this area and clear this out. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, if you say so. If I have to. And every time I went to turn the Xbox on, I was like, do I really want to play this? And the last time I played it, I sat down, I forced myself, I played for about an hour, and I was like, I just can't. I can't fucking play this anymore. It's literally sapping my will to live. I don't want to fucking play it. And we're talking, this is, like I said, this year, a year where I'm forcing myself to finish games, even if I'm not enjoying them. I'm trying to power through them. I had about 4 to 5 hours of powering through this game before I just went, I'm done. But the problem was, between me restarting it and me giving up, I'd already been on the podcast and said, this game's getting really good. I'm really fucking enjoying it. And I said to people, I said to Colm, another bit, I'd gone, you have to try this game. It's now that Ubi have tweaked it and patched it and fixed it, it's really good. No, it ain't. It's still the same. It's still boring. I just somehow didn't realise it was boring for a day's worth of gameplay. Yeah. Ghost Recon Wildlands, mate.
Yep.
Hated
Ghost
it.
Recon. Yeah.
What about you?
Now, I'm gonna start by saying, Lee, I'm very, very sorry. Can you guess what game I'm gonna talk about?
It's got to be Destiny.
It is Destiny.
Can only be Destiny.
So, just try and imagine someone who loved Destiny 1. Me, specifically. Now, Destiny 1, the way that that game ended, the final bit of DLC that they put out for free, where they released the whole game and the story was finished, it was spectacular. And you played it, and I loved it. And then they released Destiny 2, and it was not as good as the way the Destiny 1 was at the end of the game. It was actually quite obvious at the point where there were more people playing Destiny 1 than there were Destiny 2 because they'd been onto 2, realized they didn't like it, and went back to playing Destiny 1.
Excellent.
So that's at launch. It was not the best game. It got better.
Yeah.
It was really quite good towards the midlife of it. And by midlife, what I mean is, because it's only a year old, somehow it's still only a year old. It lasted till what, about maybe January, February for me,
Yeah.
if that. Free game from September. Kept playing it, did some raids, enjoyed playing it, and it just, there's only so many times you can do the same 4 or 6 missions every week,
Yeah.
trying to get yourself slightly better gear than what it is that you're wearing, just to raise your level cap
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 points. And just
Yeah.
to keep doing that every week, because you can only get 5 maximum of the super awesome engrams that will give you better gear than what it is that you're currently wearing
Yeah.
a week, that you get 5 of those. And there's, I think, like 10 slots to fill. And you're more likely to get an armor like 4 times in a row than you are to get 4 separate ones.
Woohoo.
Yeah. But the thing is, I loved this game. And I will be honest, in like 3 days, when the Forsaken DLC comes out, I will probably get it and play it. The same as any time that Lee messages me and says, "Do you want to play Destiny?" I will probably jump on it to play with him.
Yeah.
It's because of that social element, and I will drop almost anything to play Destiny with Lee again at any given moment. Like
Yes.
he could probably, if he texts me right now, I'd probably fire my Xbox up right now while we're talking on this podcast.
Yeah. See, we've said this a lot in the past, though, haven't we, about Destiny being, because you and I played Destiny 1 for quite, for about 6 or 7 hours in a very short space of time.
Yeah,
We just sat doing shit just for a couple of days just for fun. And what was fun about it was the fact that it was you and me playing.
yep,
Not the fact that we were playing Destiny. There was the fact that it was us and we were chatting and having a laugh and dicking around while we were doing it.
yeah,
But I'll be perfectly honest, I had more fun playing Dead Rising 3 and actually not doing anything in Dead Rising 3 outside of laughing.
yeah. I mean, it was a good thing that we got to the point of Dead Rising 3 where we weren't actually worried about time.
Yeah, because we burnt all of it just
Yeah.
dicking around with the glove gun. But
It's the same as when we played Far Cry, because we played Far Cry for all of like an hour together,
yeah,
where we were just trying to get one of the achievements. I think it was for you that you missed,
yeah,
that you were struggling with. So I just jumped in and gave you a bit of assistance same as you were struggling with a mission.
yeah,
It was just jumped in together and we had fun. We did
Yeah,
the mission and then just like gas bagged and played around a bit, and it works. And that with Destiny was the same.
yeah,
We were doing missions. You weren't really needing to take in the story at all. Listening to the Nolan bot
yeah,
just talking at you for a bit. The story just was nonsensical on Destiny.
yeah,
Destiny. You didn't really need to know what was going on. You were just running around shooting aliens
yeah.
with your
And
mates.
so I remember what we were saying, weren't we? With the problem with Destiny 2 was that it seems that the Acti have forgotten what Destiny 1 turned into, what Destiny 1 became,
Yeah,
and what people loved about Destiny 1 by the time they were retiring it. And then they've come back with Destiny 2, and it's not the same game, which is good. Every game should evolve, like Destiny 1 did. Destiny 1
yeah,
evolved a lot, but
yeah,
Destiny 2 didn't take the ideas from that were evolved into Destiny 1 and bring them into Destiny 2. They just started again from the bottom,
yeah.
which is a bit of a
But
problem.
it kind of makes sense when the team that made Destiny 2 are different than the team that were in service for Destiny 1.
Yeah,
It makes sense that the Destiny 2 release was worse than the in-service Destiny 1.
yeah,
The same as when they passed over the in-service of Destiny 2 over to the in-service team, it's gotten better
yeah,
over time. It's still got its snags, and the next round of DLC, the Forsaken, when it comes out, changes a lot of the game. So the weapons wheel changes, so it's no longer you're limited to primary, secondary, and heavy. You
yeah.
can have three of the same gun across all three.
Nice,
And they're also introducing a bow and arrow weapon.
cool.
I don't know what that's really going to do, but they've introduced a bow and arrow weapon, which is going to be fucking brilliant, I think. But Destiny 2 Forsaken's coming out on the 4th of September.
It's
I will
fun.
probably end up with it,
It's funny
and
you
I'll
should say
probably play
that.
with Lee with it.
It's just gone on to PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, a week before the launch of the DLC. That's the perfect time to release a game for free. Just say, by the way, you can play this game for free forever, and just pay 35, $40 for your DLC for the year two.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Nah.
Like, not at all. I have added it, even though, because the PlayStation Plus games, this is why you can tell that something was coming, because the PlayStation Plus games aren't due to come out until Tuesday. It's always the first Tuesday of the month. Always.
Yep.
And yet they're available now. The Wednesday before the first Tuesday of the month.
Yeah.
So, so I've stuck it in my download queue. I might fire it up and give it a go. I don't know what I'd do with it though. Is the honest answer.
Just play with me.
Yeah, maybe it might be it. It might be I just stick Destiny 2 on and give you a shout, and then maybe I don't know, Twitch stream it or something just for fun.
Yeah, just me and you, just casually shooting bad guys as space cadets.
Yeah, why not?
I wouldn't know what fucking character to pick because I love my Titan on Destiny 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
It'd be a bit weird to play through as a Titan again now.
Well, it's your secondary console. It's the one you don't really care about, so you just play as something you can experiment with. I'm going to be a midget with a sword, and that's it.
That makes sense. Although I did look at when the Forsaken DLC was coming out, and apparently they coded it wrong for next Tuesday, and you can already pick up Destiny 2 Forsaken loot now.
Nice.
You can't use it, but you can pick it up.
Excellent.
So that's my game that I'm very sorry for recommending to people, but I still play and still kind of enjoy playing with Lee. That's about it.
Yeah. Cool.
So, recommendations, Mr. Brooks. Have you got one? Or have you already used it, technically?
Destiny 2 is on PlayStation Plus now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I saw the PlayStation Plus games, and Destiny 2 is a big deal, I think. Whether or not you play Destiny it doesn't really matter. But the PlayStation Plus, getting Destiny 2 on PlayStation Plus is pretty big. I'm impressed. I don't think any of the other PlayStation games are worth looking at. and they don't come out until Tuesday anyway. So yeah, my recommendation for today would be Destiny 2 on PlayStation Plus.
Nice, nice.
How about you?
I'm gonna go with next month's Games with Gold because next month's Games with Gold is technically tomorrow, or depending on when you're listening, today or
Yeah,
yesterday, or usually when Colin gets around to listening to us, last Saturday.
yeah,
It's Prison Architect is available on Xbox One,
nice.
and Prison Architect is one of the many games that I've crowdfunded, paid for in its infancy, and helped work on it as it's going through life. And it's a game that I've loved every minute of playing because it's just crazy, stupid fun.
Yeah,
And I fully recommend that anyone plays it on whatever platform they have available to them. If you've got a PC to play it, go and play it on PC. It's coming out on the Xbox. Play it on the fucking Xbox.
yes. We were talking about. Why were we talking about it recently?
It was at Res.
It was at Res, yeah, and I think I was going to add it onto my boomerang list, but the signal in the basement where it was sucked, so I couldn't add it while I was there, and I forgot.
Yep.
So yeah, finally get to play it, which would be nice. Maybe with
Yep.
some instructions, because I was the game we were looking at, we were just kind of thrown in. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got no
Yep.
fucking idea.
It's literally you build a prison, you accept your inmates, and then you try and prevent them from rioting, and also you need to kind of make a profit, which is very, very difficult to do. Just like every simulation game.
Yeah,
It's like, oh yeah, do build all of this stuff, and then you realize, hang on a sec, all of this stuff's stupid expensive, and I've got no way of making any money.
yeah,
But the game keeps recommending you need to build this. Oh, the prisoner's getting upset, you need to build this. I don't have any money. They're not making me any money. How am I supposed to build them stuff to make them not riot? Stop it.
Oh, looking at the list of PlayStation Plus games. So the next one, so obviously this is Tuesday. God of War 3 Remastered is on there,
Cool.
which is kind of fun. It's a good game. Cube Director's Cut is going to be on there. Now, I've never
Right.
played Cube, but I've always kind of wanted to. So, a freebie, and it's on PS4 as well. Yeah, I think I found my next puzzle game to play.
Sounds like a plan, Batman.
Yeah.
So, Brooks, signing off now. Where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter. I'm at Brooker411, and that's about it. You can find me occasionally writing game bits for Set the Tape at the moment. I wrote a couple of previews for Spider-Man and Red Dead Redemption that are up on the site. I'll be honest, I didn't post links to them because I didn't realise they'd gone up. Just because the way the sites run, they don't tag the writers into the articles when they're posted. And because I don't have access to social media at work, I miss a lot of stuff that happens during the day. So I didn't realise they were there. But yeah, apparently they all got published last week, or yeah, beginning of last week. So there's a few little articles on a few games that are coming up this year. If anybody fancies a read.
Yep. And I'm the John_CU on Twitter, and Xbox Live is Long Dong Silver. If you're not interested in us as individuals, of course, you can always follow Character Unlock on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, MySpace, Bebo, YouTube, various other locations,
Tinder, Grinder,
Bumble,
yeah,
Plenty of Fish, Match.com, eHarmony.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah, that's where people from Kentucky go for dates.
Yep.
The podcast app of your so choosing. I think there's like 50 of them now in the world.
I think
I
I've
don't
managed
know.
to get us onto all of them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's us as a team, and as always, we're going to be here almost every 2 weeks, unless something crazy happens. Like, I don't know, we get hit by a bus,
Yeah.
or we just decide to quit doing this because no one really listens to us.
That's it. Just my other half listening to it because she feels she has to.
I don't even listen to us anymore.
I listen to us far too much when I edit this stupid podcast.
Yeah, but your numbers don't count.
No, they don't, sadly. I do see our numbers and they suck. It's good thing that we do it for the love of it, really. And
It's true. Yeah. So that's it, all done and dusted. Gonna wipe my hands of this episode because it was a great one. And we'll just say goodbye, everyone.
good night, everyone.